Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of our Q&A on Thursdays with Haggerty Dog Training. I am Babette Haggerty, and I am here today to help you solve your problems with your dog. I have a lot of good questions that came up, a lot of good issues that came up this week, which I'm going to get to in a moment. However, the one prevailing question I've been getting from owners, and I had some people that reached out to me, and actually the Pet Buzz, Charlotte Reed, I had the honor of being interviewed by her along with cat expert Beth Edelman yesterday for the Pet Buzz radio show, discussing President Biden's decision to get a cat and what I thought of it. And Beth chimed in as well. Beth is a noted cat writer. Well, she has done some dog writing, but primarily cat writing, and she's a cat behaviorist. So they wanted to get the viewpoint from the dogs and from the cats. And some of you know, and of course, we're not privy to what really happens in the White House. All we can do is just make guesstimates, and educated guesstimates at that, based on our experiences with average dog owners. For some of you that may or may not know, but President Biden and First Lady Biden, they have two German Shepherds. One is Major, who is a younger Shepherd. I'm not even sure of his age, and I believe that was the one that was adopted a couple of years ago after before he became our president. And he has an older German Shepherd. I'm not sure how old the older one is. And now they're talking about getting a cat. But to give you some backstory, Major recently bit two people in the White House. Of course, we don't know what the story is. We know what the news is told, but they have spin doctors, and that happens with everybody. So we really don't know what the situation is. However, Major does apparently have a history of biting people. So Charlotte Reed interviewed me yesterday wanting my opinion. And while I completely respect, and I know Beth Edelman is very good at what she does, she and I didn't completely agree. And it wasn't that we were both right. However, we were not agreeing for different reasons. Charlotte asked me, do I think the Bidens should get a cat? And I said, no, absolutely not. They should not get a cat. And Beth's argument was that if it's managed effectively, yes, they could get a cat. And she's absolutely right. If it's managed properly, they could get a cat. However, my money is that they can't manage it properly at all. And the reason why I believe that is Major's already bitten twice. So clearly whoever's in charge of the dogs is not, shall we just say, is not 100% on top of the dogs so that you can stop a problem from happening. It's called good management. Personally, in my opinion, I think they should have like an animal wrangler for the White House. It shouldn't be the maintenance guy, or it shouldn't be, housekeeper, Tuesday's housekeeper. It should be a person who their sole responsibility is taking care of the animals. There's a lot that goes on at the White House. There are a lot of people in and out of the White House. There are pressing matters. There's a lot of stress there. I'm certain that someone needs to just be in charge of the dogs, and now the cat, if they're going to add the cat. So really, I just kind of wanted to touch base on that. So much of what we do with our domestic pets is we have to manage them properly. And, I don't want to sit here and make this all about, my disagreeing with their decision to get a cat, because who knows what's going to happen. And truthfully, who cares what my opinion is? However, what I want to talk to you as the average pet owner, it's really important that you manage things safely and appropriately. Hey, Danny, it's good to see you on here. And we'll talk about French Bulldogs too, since you brought that up. Or you and I discussed it the other day. But as far as management goes, anytime you have a multi-pet household, and even if you don't have a multi-pet household, you have to know how to manage your pet properly, whether it's a guinea pig or a fish or a dog. And dogs that are higher maintenance than others, you need to manage them properly. And it's super important that you manage things effectively and properly. For example, we have a bull mastiff in for training, and the owners are complaining that the dog runs out the front door. Okay, so yes, there are skills we can teach the dog so that the dog learns not to run out the front door. However, as the pet owner, they also need to manage the situation to set the dog up to succeed and not set the dog up to fail. And I guess one of the issues that they're having, Ella's mom is here. Maria, hi, Regina. Hi, John. Ella was just out, so maybe we'll bring Ella up for you. Maria, did you hear me? I think Regina might want to see Ella. Anyway, she didn't ask that. She just said hi. Anyway, we're going to bring Regina up. We're going to bring Ella up for you, Regina, so you can say hi to Ella. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, you have to manage things effectively. For example, this woman's, I guess, 7-year-old child keeps opening up the front door and letting the dog out. So we have to manage the situation so that the 7-year-old boy or girl, I'm not even sure which it is, doesn't keep opening up the door, letting the dog out. That's super important. You have to manage not just the people in the house, but the animals in the house too. And you can't set up the animal to fail. The dog doesn't understand, oh, little boy left the front door open. I'm really not supposed to go out that front door, so I won't go out the front door. Dogs don't think like that. They're like, oh, front door, kids, bike, excitement. Let me go run and chase some squirrels. So you as the pet owner, you have to manage things properly so that you don't have problems with your dog or cat or fish, whatever it might be. And that's another thing I want to talk to you guys about, family owners that don't listen. Ella, come on. I know you're not supposed to be up in my lap. Come on. I know. Why are you? Come on, say hi to your mom. Ella, look in the camera. Go say hi to your mom. Your mom's there. I know. I love you too, honey. I love you too. Okay. Well, Regina, I hope you could see her. I really want. There's Ella. All right. So, Regina, I hope you got your Ella. She said hi, Ella. Anyways, sorry about that digression. Ella's family is, I believe, basking in the sun in Florida, and wanted to see her dog. And there she is as she goes back to playtime. Anyway, so as far as family owners that don't listen, we had somebody reach out and they said, I'm willing to do everything, but my significant other is not willing to do everything. I tell everybody that comes to me with that problem, it's kind of like, whenever you're raising kids and you have a significant other, one's going to play good cop, the other one's going to play bad cop. Growing up, I know as a kid, who did I ask for the car keys? Whichever parent was going to say yes. And it always depended. I always went to the parent that was going to say yes or whatever, give me the answer that I wanted. So just like kids shop for the right answer from their parents, dogs will do the same thing. Sure, mom may not let me up on the sofa, but dad's going to. So if you're a mom, don't wonder why the dog keeps getting up on the sofa when you're not there, because dad's allowing it. But I do tell owners, be selective of the arguments. Whenever you live with another person, you have to select your fights. Is it really worth hassling over? I let owners know that if you stay on top of the dog, it doesn't matter what everybody else does. They may or may not listen to you. I mean, you may all not be on the same page, but your dog is going to be that much better anyway, and they'll be better for you. It doesn't matter if they don't listen to the significant other or the other people in the house. And I'm talking about like adults. I mean, kids, you definitely have to. You can't let the kids keep letting the dog out of the crate so the dog pees and poops all over the house when you're trying to housebreak the dog. That's setting the dog up to fail. So that's something you have to manage effectively and properly. But if you're with a significant other, there's another adult in the house, I don't want to see you guys get into fights over the dog. It's just not worth it. It really isn't. So that's something just keep in mind. Your dog will be better if you work with them. They're just going to learn who they have to listen to and who they don't have to listen to. As far as applying lessons to training, I feel like I'm saying this every single week, and we're saying this every single day to people, is you have to do what your dog trainer is telling you to do. We don't make this stuff up and say this stuff because it doesn't work. We say this stuff because it does work. And it's super important, I feel, that you follow one philosophy. I had a student that came the other night. He takes care of he's the animal wrangler for the household. Maybe he could get a job in the White House. That would probably be good for him. But he takes care of the pets in someone's house. And he was bringing one of the dogs to the group class. And he was telling me about the other dog that's been doing private lessons. And he said, between you and me, they have like 3 or 4 other trainers. And every week we have a different trainer coming to the house. And I said, the trainers you're telling me that you have, every single one of them has a different philosophy on training. You must be driving yourselves crazy. He said, yeah, the owners are driving me crazy because every trainer we talk to is telling us something differently. And that just creates chaos and a plan for failure. So I tell everybody, whether you're listening to a trainer that philosophically they and I are not on the same page, that's fine. But follow one philosophy all the way through. Don't treat it as a smorgasbord. Take that one trainer's philosophy and follow it all the way from A to Z, the first point to the last point, because that's where you're going to get results. Some paths are going to take longer than others, and that's okay. But just stick to it. Don't do a little bit here and a little bit there, because you will drive yourself crazy. It's going to take you that much longer, and your poor dog is going to be so bloody confused, and you're going to be so stressed out because you're not going to know who to listen to or what to believe. Hey, John, it's good to see you. Sarah's not here, but I will tell her you send your love. Sarah will be here the week after next. And actually, I wasn't even going to bring this up, but I'll bring up a little brag I have about my daughter. We had a gentleman that reached out to us a couple of months ago, and we're slammed. We're booked like next few months out. So everybody's on a waiting list right now. And this gentleman, he needed help finding a puppy to become a diabetic alert dog. And I said to him, I said, look, I don't have time for this. I want to help you. My daughter is 16. She is an aspiring service dog trainer. That is her dream, to train service medical alert dogs for people. And she wants to use labs. And, I discussed with him about getting a lab, and we found him a great breeder in Debbie K. If you want a medical alert dog, you want a lab that does any type of scent work, Debbie K at Chilbrook Kennels is the person you want to go to without a doubt. So I said, that's who I recommend, and we're just going to have to be patient. And, I said to him, I said, this is my daughter, she's 16. So she went out and she took care of, she knew Debbie would have good dogs, and we're getting very close to this gentleman getting the puppy. And my daughter will be working with this puppy for the next year, and this gentleman training to become a diabetic alert dog. And, he said to her, and I overheard them one night, and I heard him say to her, you've been the most helpful to me out of all the breeders and all the trainers I spoke to. You've been the most helpful, and I want to pay you for this. And she had said to me beforehand, she said, Mom, should I charge this guy? I said, you know what? This is going to be your first dog training job as a medical alert trainer. I said, what if he gives you $100, it's going to be more money in your pocket, and you're just going to put this to the side, and save this for your horse and to start your breeding program to raise and train service dogs. I said, so whatever he gives you, it's going to be a bonus. You're 16, what's the big deal? So she said to him, she said, well, you just pay me whatever you think I'm worth. And, he said, well, I'm definitely going to do right by you. But he's so excited, and I'm excited for her because she is going to be training this dog. I know this dog's going to work out really well for this gentleman. And he's going to be able to have a little bit more freedom because he's going to have a dog that's going to alert him to his low blood sugar and really save his life. So it's an awesome thing. So I had to brag about that. And of course, I'm going to make my daughter take my dog trainer's course, which I am launching. We're in May now. I believe we're launching it at the beginning of July. It's going to be a combo hybrid online dog trainer's course for people who are outside of the area, combined with coming in here and getting their hands-on work. And I'll release more details of that soon as time goes on. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is TV trainers. There are a lot of people who they just play dog trainers on TV. There are people who are dog trainers and now they're playing one on TV. One thing I want you all to keep in mind, especially, the pet owners, when you see something on TV, you have to understand that there's a lot of stuff that's cut out. So when you see these dog trainers on TV, I can assure you they have not solved the problem in 30 minutes, okay? That trainer's gone back. There's been a lot of stuff that happened off the camera. They may have gone back 6, 10, 3 times, 2 times. It depends. There was a lot of work that was done before, in between episodes. So a lot of people really seem to think like, oh, I put on Caesar and Caesar solved this, dog fighting problem in 30 minutes. It's like, well, no, it didn't really happen in 30 minutes. Yes, the TV version happened in 30 minutes. So your completely untrained dog is not getting trained in 30 minutes. And guess what? You'll also notice that Caesar does train the owners and the handlers how to train the dog, how to handle the dog effectively. And that's a huge part of it. If you do not know how to handle your dog properly, you're set up to fail. I had a lady who called earlier today and she said, my dog's not good with other dogs. I want to put him in a group class. No, time out. You don't want to be in a group class. We need to teach you how to handle your dog. You're not going to get that one-on-one attention that you need. So your handling skills are better if you're in a group class. You're going to be one of, half a dozen dogs, maybe 10 dogs. We need to work with you and show you how to handle your dog in a non-distracting environment. Then you can introduce the distractions. Then you can set yourself up to work your dog around other dogs and distractions, because you're going to know what to do because you've practiced it and worked with the dog in a non-distracting environment. So please don't think that just because you have a problem with your dog with other dogs that the best place is a group class. The best place is not a group class, and sending your dog to the dog park every day is not going to make your problem better. It's probably going to make it worse. So, I just wanted to reiterate that. I feel like I say this to you guys every single week, but it's super important. I can't stress it enough. Now, I did promise somebody earlier that we would discuss French Bulldogs. And we do have a lovely Frenchie that is getting ready to be available through the French Bulldog Rescue Network. You guys saw him last week. His name is Brixton. He's an adorable little dog, and he's a lot of fun. A lot of people say, oh, I want to rescue a dog, so I'm just going to go to the shelter and I'm going to find myself a mixed breed of dog. You don't have to rescue only mixed breeds. You can go to purebred rescue groups if you really know what kind of breed you want. And there's a lot of good things about that. A lot of times you know exactly what you're getting. However, the reason why I wanted to bring this up was you want to be careful about getting too many dogs. It's fine to have a couple of dogs, and a lot of people think, well, I have a behavior problem with my one dog. I just need to get him a friend, and that's going to solve the problem. It's not going to double your problem. It's going to triple your problem. It's going to get worse. 2 dogs are not double the work. 2 dogs are 3 times the work. So be very careful before your heart melts over this cute little puppy. Make sure you have the time, energy, and are willing to make the effort to make it work. Whether it's a new puppy that you get from this fantastic breeder or you're rescuing a dog over the internet, that is really important to be able to manage the dog properly and give them the time. I know so many dog people that, they end up with 3 and 4 dogs. And after a while, it's like, oh God, I can't give my dogs all the attention, that they need and deserve. So just really use caution. And if you have a problem dog, don't get another dog. Wait until the first dog is straightened out and is where you need them to be before you add another dog. I know one question I'm going to have to opt here in a minute. I have adopted 4 street pups. As always, there's a dominant dog, and sometimes during play fight, he goes for the neck, not aggressively, but still, should I be worried for the future? Yeah, I need to know more about these dogs. I'd love to help you if you want to call us. Maybe we can do a meet and greet. We can see these dogs in action. Manu, if you would like to send us a video of the dogs, I don't know how old they are. I don't know what they're mixed with. I'd really like some more backstory so I can help you with that. But if you can put together some videos of them playing, maybe when they're, fighting together, when they're fighting, of course you want to break up the dog fight, but any videos you can send us of the dogs, give us some more information, their age, where did you find them, how did you acquire them, any other problems that you're having, any training you've done would be really ideal for us to know and be much more helpful so that we could answer your question. And as far as dog fights, I'm just going to throw this out there. I got into a disagreement with somebody last week on one of our dog trainers groups. It's amazing how vicious dog trainers can be to one another. And the question about dog fighting came up. And, I held my tongue because somebody disagreed with the way I choose to break up dog fights. And they were saying, yes, please send them on our Facebook page or Instagram page. That would be great. Or you can also email us at info@haggertydog.com. That's info@haggertydog.com. I'll put that on here for you too. What was I saying? Oh, so a friend of mine was watching this whole little disagreement, and this woman had said, well, it's obvious you haven't broken up a lot of dog fights. And my friend said, yeah, obviously, if you're breaking up a lot of dog fights, you're obviously not managing the situation properly. You have to not let the dog fights happen. So if you're having dog fights happening, you need to learn how to to offset them and to stop them before they even occur. So that's something really important. Especially Manu, I would definitely want to work with you so that you know how to stop it from happening. The key isn't how to break up the dog fight. The key is don't let the fight happen to begin with. That is really important. Now I'm just trying to figure out where I can put in. I'm just going to put this in the comments, Manu, so you can email us this video. We would love to have this video so we can help you better. And I just put it in the comments, info@haggertydog.com. Anyway, it's 2:00. I know I hopped on here a little late today, but I'm so glad you guys are here. And next week is our renovation. We'll still be live next week, next Thursday anyway. And we'll be on Instagram and YouTube, etc. But I'm excited you guys are here. I thank you for your support, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day and enjoy the beautiful weather. I hope wherever you are in the United States or in the world that you're having beautiful weather. Thanks, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye, everybody.